fresh fruits and vegetables are so delicious and healthy for you, wouldn't it be great to just open your door and go out into your garden and get wonderful fresh produce? Well, City Educator Paul Vaksvik is going to show us how to create a rich mulch that will give us only the best nutrients in our personal produce and in our lawn and garden. Tell me about the types of soil.
Well, here in Ventura County, we have very good soil, but it is very hard, especially in the summertime. So you need a way to loosen that soil up, which composting, I know we've talked about that before, is a very good way to loosen that soil. Our soil here is a little on the basic side of the pH scale, so it grows certain things really well, certain other things it does not grow nearly as well. When you compost, you will add acids to the soil to make it more neutral, so things will grow. When you compost, it will actually loosen the soil so that it will make it easier for the roots of the plants to get down into the soil and get the nutrients that are there. So whenever you want to plant a garden, you need to really chop your soil up fine and get it as loose as you can. You can add peat moss and other amendments to it to make it more receptive to water and things like that. But our soil here is some of the best in the world.
What constitutes a rich mulch?
A good mulch can be made up of all kinds of different things, but it's pieces of the ground up wood and bark and small pieces like this. Once you get them wet, that moisture will stay right in there. Mulch is much larger pieces than compost. A couple of things you want to look for in a mulch. You do not want a lot of gum or eucalyptus in it. Eucalyptus has a growth inhibitor in it, and if you use this mulch with a lot of eucalyptus in it and you put it under plants or around grass, it will kill everything. Any kind of bark, wood chips made from pine or poplar or hemlock or any of those other woods around here, even oak, will work great as a mulch. Now I know at some nurseries you can buy redwood bark that is a mulch. Redwood does have a little tannic acid in it, but for some reason redwood doesn't seem to have the same effects that the eucalyptus does. You can start mulch anytime. Now when composting, you're kind of stuck waiting for the two main ingredients, the grass clippings and the brown leaves. There are substitutes you can use, but composting, you should usually probably start at, I think the best months are October and November, because you've got both leaves coming off the trees and you've got green grass still. So if you mix it then together, let it cook over the winter months, by April or so, you've got compost ready. But mulch, it doesn't really take any, you're not growing it, you're not making a compost out of it, you're just putting it on the ground as a moisture barrier and to keep moisture in the soil. So anytime you can get mulch, you can put it on. It's going to keep moisture in the ground, it's going to gradually decompose and add some good benefits to the soil, but primarily it's a moisture barrier to keep moisture in the soil. And because as hard as our soil is, most of the water will pool right on top and then 2/3 of it will evaporate before it soaks down into the soil. So when you put mulch, the larger grains of wood and bark and things on the soil, the water will go down underneath it and it will stay kind of on the surface and work its way down, but the evaporation isn't as much because it is covered with the mulch. Now that's not to say that if you put mulch on an area for a while, that the decomposition of the mulch will actually help and amend the soil. It will put good things in the soil, it will loosen it up, but it is not nearly as effective as a soil amendment as composting is. Now you can go to any nursery around here and they will sell you amendments to your soil fertilizers and all this Miracle Grow stuff, and you know, that works, but you can do just as well on your own if you compost your soil and turn it over regularly. Mulch is the same way. You can get mulch from the nurseries that will cost you quite a bit of money per bag, but here in the city of Ventura you can actually get mulch for free. The city tree crews, when trees come down or are being trimmed, they will grind up the leavings and bring it out to Cornucopia Garden, and they will put piles of it on the ground. And any Ventura resident is more than welcome to come out here with a truck or a car or something, pick up as much mulch as they can put in their car, and it's free to the citizens, the good citizens of Ventura. You don't want to put mulch on your lawn. Mulch is usually on bare spots. Mulch on your lawn is not, it's just going to be a bunch of wood chips on your lawn. Now when I mulch, I usually try to get at least a couple of inches down so it's a little thicker, and then it'll last a little bit longer. You may have to go out maybe once a year or so and get some more mulch and kind of spread it around in the bare spots. Wind and other things will kind of blow it away and decomposition. But there's really, there's no recipe for mulch other than making sure that you've got, good wood and bark and things like that. You may end up with some pine needles in there, and that's fine. You don't want a lot of them, but a few are fine. They will gradually decompose just like they do normally. And the whole purpose of mulch is to keep the moisture in the ground and maybe to add a little, take away the bare spots of dirt around your flower beds and things like that. You can mulch all around the flowers, make a little spot, clear out, put your flowers in there, and it'll all look real nice. It's pretty easy to do. There's no real secret to it. Just find the mulch, which is here, and go from there. Just beyond this pile over here, this is some compost. We have a gentleman out here that has been using the garden waste and some of our mulch material and making compost. Now, it needs a little bit more water, but that should be ready pretty soon. We have some other piles around here that are more conducive to what we're talking about. They have much more bark and things in them. There are some pine needles in them, but this stuff and bark and the long sticks, and I'd throw those out, but all the little pieces are great. When you look at mulch and compost, you can really tell a big difference. The mulch is big chunks. The compost just looks like good dirt. So come out here, let them know what you're doing, that you are a citizen of Ventura, and you can help yourself to as much of the mulch as you can. And this is the time when people are working on their lawns and flower beds and things. You want it to look nice for the summer. So anything you can do to conserve and make sure that the water stays in the ground around your house is going to save you money and make your lawn look better.
An improperly scheduled irrigation controller can waste a lot of water and money. Update your system's schedule with the seasons or select a WaterSense labeled controller to take the guesswork out of scheduling.
Sustainable Ventura TV for a better tomorrow.